Good evening, friends. It's Chris Angel coming at you with another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. And today we're talking about the Smarty Pants in this world who don't know how to translate things for us, the rest of us, to understand. It drives me nuts. Like, could you just speak in English, please? Could you come down to Earth from whatever planet you're on and speak English to me? Speak the English to me. So, I felt this way actually for quite a while about technology, obviously. I have more history in it than some, in that for the last 6-7 years, I've taken myself down a pilgrimage, if you will, to learn technology stuff. From landing pages to email CRMs and WordPress when it was a nightmare, to other types of web platforms, like just all sorts of like nasty technology underworld of stuff. Yes. And as I've done that, it's like, oh my God, like every time I encounter this foreign language, it drives me nuts. So I was reminded of that tonight. I got my wife. My wife is potentially having a home office here. My wife is having a home office here soon. And so I got this. She needs Ethernet, which is, Ethernet is even lingo, Smarty Pants lingo, isn't it? It's that cable that plugs into your router, right? The thing that actually provides internet to your house, and you can provide, there's an internet cable and it can go from the router into the computer and it actually gives you higher speed on your internet than Wi-Fi, right? Where there is no cable connecting the router to the computer. So she needs some Ethernet, but this thing, right, this magic little box right here will increase the Wi-Fi, boost the Wi-Fi throughout the house, as well as it has 4 or 5 Ethernet ports in the background that I can plug a cable in and then plug it into her computer. I'm on the 3rd floor right now. Our router's in the 1st floor, the basement. And so I definitely need something to bring that up. So as I'm looking at listen, watch this. This is hilarious. As I'm looking at the quick start guide, that's so funny. The quick start guide, it starts off, right? Like this is like the first date with a quick start guide. The first thing it says is getting started. It says connect with WPS, Wi-Fi protected setup. Whatever that is, I don't know. Lets you join a secure Wi-Fi network without typing the network name and password. For more information, see connect with WPS. I'm already like tuned out. I'm already like, screw you. I don't want to look at this and read this anymore because I'm already shutting down. My brain is already shutting down 1 paragraph into the quick start guide. Now, to make this comical even more so, like this is clearly a technical thing because we're dealing with a Wi-Fi router. But when we get to marketing is the same thing. People start opening their mouth about marketing, and the rest of us people over here who are not tech Smarty Pants people, shut down immediately when Smarty Pants people start talking about marketing. We're like, I have no idea what you just said landing page. I don't know what that means. You just said like automation. I don't know what automation is as it relates to marketing. So I'm bringing this to you fresh off of reading the Quick Start. I'm not even 2 paragraphs into the Quick Start guide, and I had to make a video because I'm so frustrated. By the way, let me give you the second paragraph. The first option to get started is to connect with WPS. The second option is to connect the Netgear Installation Assistant. To use the Netgear Installation Assistant, you must launch a web browser on your computer or mobile device. For more information, see the other side of this Quick Start guide. Note, if your router's Wi-Fi security setting is set to WPA2 Enterprise, your extender can't connect to your router. You must change your router's Wi-Fi security settings. I mean, are you kidding me right now? What the hell does that even mean? I don't know what that means. And this is the Quick Start guide. Like, could you give me the kindergartner's Quick Start guide, please? Because this one clearly isn't landing for me. So that's as far as I got, and in the quick start guide for that, and I had to come tell you about it because this is the challenge we get into as it relates to anything technology for the rest of us, right? For those of us who aren't technology smarty pants people, we have to come in here and start to figure out, how do we make sense of this world of marketing in a digital age? How do we, who have emotional intelligence and EQ, not IQ, how do those of us with EQ start to make connections that are authentic and real and not spammy and not over people's heads with marketing in a digital age? This is the very thing that this show is dedicated to, right? I'm here trying to translate for you guys some of the stuff that gets in the way. So some of you, here's some problems, right? Some of you in the world of digital marketing have shut down because everything that people say to you sound like a foreign language, and you're like, I don't know what that means. And so you shut down and you don't even go there. You don't even consider how to expand your business through digital marketing, even though it could be the very thing that you need, because it's overwhelming for you. It shuts your circuits down like this quick start guide does for me. But that doesn't mean that you still don't need it. It doesn't mean that my wife still doesn't need this. She needs this set up to work from home, right? She needs this piece of technology set up, so I'm going to have to figure it out. You, in your business, need to understand digital marketing in this day and age. To bury your head in the sand is not a great strategy. What some people will do because they don't get the digital marketing space is they'll be like, well, I'm going to go to networking groups because I get that. At least I get that. And I have nothing against networking groups. I'm in a networking group. I go to networking events. I think there's a place for offline content or offline connection. But if you're going to scale, if you're going to take your message, right? Some of you have stopped dreaming at a big level of like, I have a message for the world. And because you don't know how to spread that message, you've like now reduced your business to like, I just am happy with the next transaction. Where could I just find the next transaction this week? And it's reduced you. This tech paralysis has reduced you to the next transaction. When in reality, what I know about you, because you have emotional quotient, you have EQ, is that you have a big heart for people. And with that big heart for people, you want your message to spread in the world, but because you can't figure out the digital marketing space, you shrink back to and settle for, well, I'll just take the next transaction. People, it is time to rise up. It is time to raise your level in this world and spread your message. Because why? Because the world needs your message. The world is so hurting and hungry for your message. You could see that, right? The world is, in fact, watch this. The world is tired of listening to Smarty Pants talk in a Smarty Pants tone when the world doesn't understand what the hell they're saying, right? In other words, if you took this little quick start guide as a metaphor, there are a bunch of people trying to offer the world their solutions in Smarty Pants lingo. And the world doesn't know what they're saying or what they're offering. And so the world is not getting any sort of resolve to their problem. They're not getting any kind of satisfaction or healing to the problems they're experiencing in their everyday lives. So your business, your product or service could solve things at the level of relationship and marriages and parenting and workplace satisfaction. Or your product and service could solve things in the space of health and healing and fitness and disease. Your stuff could solve things in the world for entrepreneurs in the space of helping them get their business out and their message out and create abundance and thrivingness. But because the world speaks in Smarty Pants language, nobody gets it. So the world goes on in suffering. Because we can't figure out how to translate our Smarty Pants solutions into everyday common language that somebody could actually wrap their head around. You've got, and this happens so much in the healing space. I have such a heart for healers right now because I feel like the world needs healers more than anything right now. But healers, it's very easy for healers to get into the woo-woo language of it all and talk about how they heal things. And the world doesn't care about how you heal things. Just like I don't care about what the hell WPS or W2A, I don't know what it said now, like all this tech speak. What we need to know from you is in everyday language, do you get my problems and my pains? Do you have some sort of vision of what's possible for me? Can you help me? And then help me shift my mindset and my skill sets because I need something different than what I have now. And your marketing has to come from that place. Your marketing has to come from the place of letting me know that you get me, you get my problems and my pains, you see what's possible for me, and you help me build a bridge to that. And if you can't communicate that in your marketing in a way that makes sense to me, then you are forever stuck as a business owner with very time-intensive networking. Word of mouth, unpredictable word of mouth. Hail Marys for referrals. So, how do we solve this Smarty Pants language? How do we get back to a place where we're actually making a real connection with people so that they don't put down our marketing because they're overwhelmed and their circuits are short-circuiting, but they actually feel inspired by the project at hand. They feel inspired to do the thing that you're talking about. Like that if I could be inspired to set up my wife's router, that would be fantastic, but I'm not. And if people could be inspired to do the things you're talking about in your marketing rather than overwhelmed because you can't communicate clearly, that would be transformative. That, friends, would change the world. You have a message in you, and some of you have even been bold enough to start making videos and telling the world about it. But because you can't say it in a way that gets beyond the abstract and Smarty Pants language of it, people can't follow you, and so they leave. So here's the work that's required right now is for you to begin to translate the truths that life has given you and put them into some language that people could actually understand and not just interact with you on your videos because they're your friends and they're being complimentary. Not just interact with you in your videos because they're high-fiving you as a cheerleader like, hey, way to make that video. But they're actually consuming your content because it mattered. It made a difference for them. It spoke to something in their soul because the way you said it called them to rise. That's what has to happen in our marketing. Not only for the sake of our business to grow, but for the sake of the souls we're trying to heal. And here's the good news. I have solved a piece of this. Thank God I've solved a piece of this. It only took me 17 years to sort of figure this out, but I'm passing it on to you. Let me save you 17 years of trial and error, right? Why don't you just draft on me? Draft on the lessons that I've learned and all the failures I've accumulated. I've created a 6-week program that actually teaches you how to translate your truth into some sort of coherent way that your people could relate to and apply. It's an intensive program. I'm not going to lie. It is intensive. But the feedback I'm getting from the people going through it is so rewarding. Like where they were stopped in marketing for years, they're having breakthroughs because the way that they're being connected to their truth and the frameworks we're giving them to communicate that truth leaves not only them clear about how to say it, but it leaves the people on the receiving end clear about how to hear it. So, if you would like to learn more about the best place to start, if you're interested in something like that, would be my free course. My free course basically walks you through the paradigm or the framework you would need to think about marketing, which is drastically different than how most of you are thinking about marketing now. And as you go through that free program, you'll get a good sense at the end of whether you would want to actually take that up a notch and go into a 6-week intensive. So if you're interested in the free course, which is where you would need to start, you would go to groundswellmethod.com and you would actually just go through 5 videos, just over 90 minutes. And that would actually help you get a sense of this style of marketing that leaves the Smarty Pants lingo behind and actually puts you in connection, in direct connection with your truth in a way that other people can hear it. So how do you get that? You go to groundswellmethod.com. That's groundswellmethod.com puts you in touch with the free course. And by the end of the free course, there is an application where you can actually apply for the 6-week program, our next upcoming 6-week program. You'll see the date on there. So that is what there is to do. If you're tired of not only being in a world of Smarty Pants marketing, but you're also clear that sometimes you speak in a Smarty Pants tone and people don't always get what you're saying. Like the kind of engagement you get on your marketing is the cheerleading friends and family and your mom saying, great job, way to post that video, but nobody's ever taking action on your videos. Nobody ever asks you to work with you. If you're getting engagement, but nobody's asking to work with you, it's because you're speaking in Smarty Pants language. So if you'd like to solve that for yourself, then go to groundswellmethod.com and start the free course. And if you think you're ready to take that up a notch, then maybe you should apply for my 6-week program. Please, guys, please help me help you. Help solve this problem in the world. There are people who are seriously hurting. They're hurting in their business. They're hurting in their marriage. They're hurting in their health. There's all sorts of places they're hurting in life. And we have the solution. But if you don't put it in language that they can understand, they just leave. Because they're short-circuited in their mind. They can't comprehend what the hell you're saying. So, that's it for tonight, gang. Thanks for hanging out with me for this episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Until tomorrow when I get fired up again about who knows what. Have a great night, and we'll see ya.